Crackos, wake up for Crackos.
Who are you?
I'm Cracko, with my new Wake Her Up a cereal post-corn Crackos. Have you heard what happens when you crack into Crackos? Well, keep your ears open.
What happened? Lose a wheel?
The cow.
Oh, cow. Hold on. Conductor. It crackles when you crunch.
Corn Crackos, new from Post. Crackling little twists of golden corn cereal, sugary sweet and crisp enough to drive you wild.
On September 14th at Lo-Fi Studios, just after the Cracker Camper 20th anniversary of their camp out, we're having an anniversary for FiSTOCK here in Redlands, and it's going to be headlined with the flying VICTOR KRUMMENACHER's Flying Circus and the Dangers, and we have Chris Williams' new band, and Jonathan Segel is actually going to play a solo set. So what this show's about is getting some of those pieces in place so you'll be ready after the camp out to come to FiSTOCK.
Yes, turn it off.
Not on. Chris Williams and Matt and Amy, tell people about this album.
Yeah, Matt definitely shares the same spirit. You know, my guiding mantra is always give the song what it wants. And he's got really great intuition about, and I could take you around to some of his other toys here. I'll just do it really quick.
Sure.
I don't think the vibes are set up, but he has this beautiful, I'll have to take the cover off of this like Hammond organ and the vibes. Hi, Sarah. And so he paints with a lot of different colors and brushes, and you know, and it was just really great to be able to work with a you know, a very tight team and have so many you know, colors to add to the painting.
So you use vibes a lot. I mean, in your own stuff, you know, when you're putting your own work together, Matt.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just a collector of kind of instruments, and I mean, I got all kinds of stuff, you know,
Yeah.
harpsichords, Rhodes, so whatever I get, you know, I end up using somehow. My main emphasis on my studio, other than like having some having some really good, you know, a few really good like, you know, pieces of gear for recording, is mostly the instruments and stuff, and kind of the odds and ends and random things, you know, glockenspiels and ukuleles, whatever.
Yeah.
And other random things like marxophones and taishigotos, and you know, a bunch of really, so I love all like the, you know, some people get a lot of guitar pedals. I don't really have so many. I mostly just get random little more affordable instruments, you know.
You're like Ross on Roland Kirk. You could have been your own one-man band, Dick Van Dyke, or
I had the pleasure of meeting his parents, and she said, when Matt was 5, I'm sorry, telling you embarrassing
Yeah.
parent story. Said when he was 5, he put together his own like one-man band setup.
Well, I don't know about maybe 5, but I mean, yeah, that's
The legend has possibly
Maybe
been exaggerated.
actually,
As long as the symbol isn't attached to your elbow, I think you're
yeah, I mean, there's some point when it becomes like a little too novelty, but I mean,
But since we're just going on about effing, I'll say that talented Matt is talking about bringing the whole thing together. He also did the cover art, and I will just say the album has not been officially been released, but I've been selling it at shows. But people will buy the vinyl when they don't have a turntable, just because the cover art is so bad. You can get a taste of it with Amy's background there. Do you have a copy of the record? Here's the record. It's probably not going to show up that great.
It's not bad, not bad.
Better off looking at
Yeah.
the background, but the inside is his studio with all his equipment. You know, we got the tape deck there, and he has brilliantly weaved the song titles onto the instruments. And just when I first got the vinyl, just seeing it larger than life, the cover is well worth the price of admission, even if you don't listen to the thing.
It takes two to tango. I'm a stubborn mule to wrangle, but you think you got the angle to hear you talking. I am tired of hearing all your filthy swearing, but I'm past the point of caring. Just start walking. Yes, I can forgive you. What's done is done, but I can't wait to miss you, 'cause that means you are gone.
I don't want to diminish it by saying it's like, where's Waldo? But there's so much detail on that. It took me a few weeks, especially like DW's guitar playing. I mean, my favorite moments of the record, I mean, they're just a couple of things that he did, these lead guitar parts, which were improvised. I mean, like I said, I think we gave him like 2 takes on every song. It's like, well, there are only 2 tracks of tape left, so that's all you get.
Be a nightmare scenario. This is what you wanted until it wasn't. Nightmare scenario.
But it's like bringing it together with super talented people, it brings out all sorts of sweet surprises.
yeah, it's just amazing how many different ways you could record a song, really, and like, and then, some production could just totally elevate something, and some production could just kind of,
Bring it
you know,
down.
do the opposite, so.
Do you?
Don't you?
Will you?
Won't you?
Can you?
Could you?
Did you? Want you? That depends on a lot of things. That depends what tomorrow brings. That depends on whether you stay up late. That depends if you leave or if you wait. That depends on whether it ends on time. That depends on where you draw the line. That depends if we have some place to go. That depends on whether you say yes or no. That depends. That depends.
It's always fun to see Amy. She's my pal. But meeting Matt, that was just wonderful, man. I think I have the one Dick's Picks when you're talking about the triple one. What was the one that you said? I
Well,
probably
it's 41 to 44.
okay. I
So,
think I have that. It might just be up here.
That depends. That depends. Blue is your heart. Blue is the sky.
Well, welcome to the Lo-Fi Lounge. I'm Bob Nye, and it is my pleasure to be sitting here with Chris LeRoy and Mike Geegan of a longtime rock and roll original band, The Dangers,
I like the sound of that.
stalwarts of the Inland Empire for decades now.
Yeah.
And we're here to talk about their new album. It is called My Pen Was Wide Awake. I like the Ginsberg quote.
Yeah.
Number one, you got me with that one.
And it is from an Allen Ginsberg poem that's the last line of the poem. And it's in the poem, he's driving into New York with his father when he's a kid. And he's just describing all the things that he sees and all the trucks around the road and the moving from the marshes out into the cityscape. And he's looking at the world. It's almost like maybe that's his earliest poetic thinking. And I thought that was a good launching pattern.
Sunrise on the city, riding in my father's car. Morning air rising, skyline losing stars. We set out in the twilight, porch light off at home. Saw your face in the dashlight. It's time for moving on. I'm rolling out at midnight with the California quake. Raise me up on some beat. My pen is wide, wide awake.
Do you remember when you were a kid, or the first time you ever tried to start writing something or thought about writing a song?
Oh God! I think we had this discussion. The old Mad Magazine song parodies.
Oh, right.
Remember that? Remember us talking about that? How they would substitute
Girl from Ipanema.
Girl from Ipanema,
That's one of my favorite ones.
and they would have substitute like some kind of funny lyrics.
Short and fat, bald and ugly.
Right.
Guy from Ipanema.
So that was kind of like how I kind of started to figure out. Oh, lyrics go with music and that kind of thing.
Play music for you, Mike. Like, can you think about? I remember you always talk about get your dad to put on the Beatles album for you because you couldn't reach. Couldn't reach the turntable, and so you have to
wake him up and ask him because he worked night shift. Yeah, but we lived in Levittown in an A-frame house, and the 4 boys lived upstairs, and I'm the last of 6. So my eldest brothers had albums, and I had everything from the concert from Bangladesh to They Only Come Out at Night to Harvest to Fillmore East and Eat a Peach and every Beatles album that was accessible. So, and Elton John too is huge, and later on Billy Joel because he lived in the next town over. But I just remember walking to school and having one of the Elton Johns like Saturday Night's All Right for Fighting running through my head and just kind of getting shivers, man, because it's like, man, I want to do that. That Davy Johnstone guitar part it was killer, you know. And for a kid that's going to first grade or second grade, it's like, because my brother Kevin or my brother Bub would get up and they would just mute. As soon as everybody woke up, the album went on the turntable. You know, so that's how we got ready for school.
We're overachievers by far. I mean, I think this is our 16th album.
17th.
17th.
I've got it written down right here.
But who's counting?
When we reach out, we can hang on stronger than a bending bough. Even now, even now, even now, even now. Come on, come on, even now. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come along, even now.
I tried to use some other lyrics as a springboard. Hank Williams had this Lost Notebooks. I want to hear what somebody else did, but I like the way these 4 lines start. A lot of the songs came from these Lost Notebook ideas, and then 2 songs, My Past Wide Awake and Blue Valentine, came from poems from Ginsberg.
I like Candle.
Candle.
Because it reminds me of, it's kind of a Stonesy riff that you got down
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
And again, you really outdid yourself on this stuff.
Oh, man. Thank you.
Not that you're not good on all the rest of the records, but I really like what you're doing on this one.
You will see the exciting opportunity that exists for your city to become better.
Last night I wandered from 2 friends. Be careful where you should not go. Hold your tongue, speak your truth. You never know who wants to know. Wake up, I told my friends, it's not the life I want to live. You can't hold a candle, they say. You can't hold a candle, they say. You can't hold a candle in a howling wind.
We are so fortunate to have Bob Nye still here doing his thing.
And healthy.
And healthy. It means a lot to all of us.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys.
Yeah.
I feel the love.
Yeah, you should.
I said blue, blue is your heart, blue is the sky.
Crackos, Crackos, wake up for Crackos.
Hey, Cracko, why don't you get a haircut?
This is my haircut. Have you heard what happens when you crack into Crackos?
Uh-uh.
What was that? I think the anchor broke. We're gonna eat.
It crackles when you crunch.
You hear it too, mates. Get new post-corn Crackos.
Well, I remember you and Joe, and what he said to me. Well, tell me, Vic, now, can this world be as sad as it seems? Well, I said, Joe, you will not get an argument from me. It sure seems that way from day to day. But it's last call, Joe. It's time for one more drink before we head out on our way. Well, I hadn't seen you and Joe in years. I thought about him the other day. I was walking past the church of the Immaculate Conception, where once he and I, we watched a crowd stand and wait for some appearance of the Blessed Virgin. On the wall they said you could see her face. Well, now I didn't see nothing, but Joe said he saw something. Whatever Joe saw, it wasn't remotely the same thing. But it's hard to see trouble come. 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 Well, now the days grow long in the middle of June, and the sun is staying up late. It's hot and still, it's earthquake weather, but I got a feeling I just can't shake. You know, the bad news hit me like a sucker punch. I keep thinking about those days. Well, most of the time I'm glad I moved on. But sometimes I wish that nothing had changed. Oh Lord, I wish nothing had changed. But what you gonna do? Cause there's high water everywhere, high water everywhere, high water everywhere, and not a drop to drink. You know there's high water everywhere. High water everywhere. High water everywhere. Not a drop to drink. And it's hard to see trouble coming. It's hard to see trouble coming. It's hard to see trouble coming. It's hard to see trouble coming.
Telephone lines, they're easy to find.